and welcome to Critical Tumble, where a bunch of longtime friends and internet nerds transcend geography through the power of Discord to play Dungeons and Dragons. Mostly. Sometimes, if we can make it. As you may have noticed, we are missing very different two people this time. Because trying to arrange a D&D group where all parties can attend at all the time is basically impossible, I think. Probably. I'm just glad I didn't have anything massive involved with combat planned for this. But then again, I'm playing most of this by ear anyway because the two people who were missing the last time made me go entirely into left field insofar as this plot goes. It's fine. Everybody seems to have enjoyed it. It's just sometimes you're just like, I just pulled that out of my ass. How is this working? Previously. The Cupcake Coterie are in Anbir. They were starting by just trying to free the Protector Azamar from their helicopter parenting house arrest. Found out the whole situation was a little bit worse than they had originally thought it would be. Partially because even the person they sent in to begin the inspiring people to be less afraid is now locked up, probably with some pretty horrific shit done to her already, and everyone telling this group that no, she never arrived. It's all going a little bit pear-shaped on a number of levels. Their one tour of the settlement was mostly focused on the tower, although they did have a look around so Clarity, our sneaky rogue, could reconnoiter a little bit. Barnabas did get approached by some of the kids, sort of going, they're going to lie to you. And actually having to flag up that, no, you want to tour the tower, really. Why are you not asking to do that? So they got a tour of the tower, did get some evidence that, yeah, Alice had been there very much against her will pretty recently and probably still there because, what the kids said. So they were going to go back and actually speak to the Protector Azamar because they might have more information about what was going on. They handled trying to get in kind of badly. Oopsie. So they were looking at alternatives. It was going to be break-ins, either breaking into the compound just to talk to people, or what they decided to do in the end, break in to the tower through the one bit that is not where you have your magic kind of locked away from you. Get Alice out and bring her to the governor as basically a witness to what's going on in there and hopefully have him step in. The problem is the governor can't go in to the settlement because of the anti-magic field. If he wants to have the fact that he and thus his fellow governors are dragons, if he wants to keep that quiet, he can't go in. Of course, they did manage to find, they managed to find a shop, thanks to Clarity, that would give them, schematics, maps, and nifty little pendant that would get them past magical wards for about a day. As long as they were in a zone where magic actually still worked. And they were going to go and pick up their maps after they had dinner. They had dinner, they came out, and the entire square was absolutely chock full of guardsmen. The guards being largely Scourge Azamar doing the helicopter-y parent thing, and most of them pointing weapons at y'all, because y'all have a reputation. Nobody was particularly happy about this, but trying to fight that would probably wind up starting shit you didn't really want to start, and Barnabas really wanted to be at least into the interrogation enough to figure out what it is they're really trying to get you on. So off they went to jail with Clarity, because we've had this discussion, low-key bitching the entire way. We've seen, some of you have seen Clarity's reaction to getting arrested. The rest of you learn just how potty-mouthed Clarity can be from that particular one. It probably got worse when brought into a jail on the outskirts of town. As you see on the map, you'll notice that only 6 of you are on said map, because you two, being deemed by Captain Tagg to be the more dangerous of the two, were taken to secure lockup. Now, that means that your cell had solid doors, very little in the way of windows, so it's very, very dark in there. But thankfully, you've got at least some level of space. You guys don't know it, but there's a couple of rooms in there that are basically 5-foot by 5-foot boxes, which is where Magic 8-Ball Man got thrown, briefly. Yeah, Rylan was the first to get interrogated, and went very, very, how best to put this, obtuse. And it has now been dubbed by the sergeant that's been doing the interrogating, Magic 8-Ball Man. And in fact, Ethan, Placid Plastic Duck Simulator and that 8-ball ducky? I've named it Rylan in their honor. Yes, I'll explain Placid Plastic Duck Simulator someday. Anyway, point being that for a good hour, you two are in separate cells. I mean, Clarity can clearly see better than Barnabas, but there's really nothing much to look at in here. There is a bit of straw on the floor that's clearly not meant to be long-term accommodation. And really narrow arrow slit that's as much to let air in as anything else. And that's basically it for both of you. So for this hour, are you doing anything in particular?
Clarity has been singing the elven version of Jingle Bells at the top of her lungs, just to be kind of an ass.
Yeah, isn't it a shame that those are soundproof? As long as she's keeping herself company, that's fine. But no, unfortunately, Barnabas does not hear the elven singing. Okay, you know what? I'm going to ask for a performance check from Clarity.
Sure.
Because I'm curious as to how well Clarity is singing this.
Go. 8.
No. In all fairness, you're getting on. You can only hope you're getting on other people's nerves as much as you're getting on your own. But one day I'm sure you'll find out that no, not particularly. Barnabas.
He's just sitting there patiently because he's been on the other side of this, and all you can do is wait, and it might unnerve them if he's not reacting.
Fair enough. So yeah, after about an hour of this, Barnabas's cell door opens, and a different individual, not Captain Tagg, bit younger, bit longer and shaggier in the hair than you generally expect a guardsman to be. Doesn't. This is not trying to hide this. I won't make you do an insight check unless you want further detail. Does not seem to be viewing you strictly as a criminal, despite the fact you've been shoved in here. Come with me, please.
He doesn't say a word, but he stands up and follows him.
Yeah, and leads you into You're probably flash blinded for a minute because dark corridor, very dark room, and now you're in a very well lit interrogation room with chairs and table bolted to the floor. Sort of half guides you towards the chair, which will about accommodate your tail. Uh, Sits across from you. It waits for you to get a little bit, get your vision back on some semblance of track. I'm Sergeant Len. I'm here to ask you some questions.
Feel free.
Actually, I think I'm probably going to start with not asking the questions so much, although this does require some care. I've been speaking to the rest of your party, and the ones that were open with me have given me an insight into the various charges against you all that I had not otherwise had. I say this now so that we can avoid the, well, frankly, the magic 8-ball man. Your wood elf friend was a fair bit obtuse. So, moving on from that, what is your party's business in Anbir?
What are we charged with?
Of course, to be fair, in character, you'd know this because I didn't think to actually read the charges to you while you were both here. No, the charges were attempted break-in, inciting disturbance of the peace, and you came fairly close to resisting arrest, but managed to skirt that one, despite Hazel kind of inflating.
I can't say I'm particularly pressed to do your job for you, sir.
Oh no, here we go again. I don't suppose any of what I originally said sank in.
It sank in plenty, but not here to make your life easy.
Be kind to the poor Minotaur. Honestly, the first part of that comment was me not doing my job, according to the captain. I am trying to help you. I cannot help you unless the answers you give to my questions give me some kind of lead-in. You seem to be the sort of person who understands what it is to not be at the top of the command chain, and suddenly finding out that the story as you have heard it from the captain is not quite the story as it actually was. Do you want me to simply listen to the captain? Or would you like me to actually be able to do my job? Which is to uphold law and justice and right, not just carry out a captain's orders.
Can I get an insight check?
Yeah, I was just about to ask.
If he's BSing me?
I mean, it will not take much. He is not trying to hide shit. Yeah, honestly, did not take that because he is saying this in a room that probably has some kinds of enchantment on it that bypass the magical lockdown, and he was originally trying to dance around it in a way to just stay in his job to be able to help you while still actually helping you, and being as
Mhm.
upfront as he has just been is going to get him in some significant trouble if he's not very, very careful. And you have obliged him to do that, and he is now incredibly fucking frustrated. And there is an undertone of, this is worse than the Magic 8 Ball Man, and yet I'm still doing this.
Hmm. We're here because the captivity is wrong.
Allow me to be as well, as blunt as I've already been. My duty involves predominantly this. It's not even a proper prison. We don't incarcerate for long periods for the most part.
Mhm.
But this holding room, as it were, and that means the only information I get about the what you call captivity, and I'm not doubting you. I'm simply saying that is not the impression that I have received from my reports. All I know about it is from reports, and you know who those came from. So, could you please enlighten me as to exactly how you determined that that captivity was wrong? And in character, you know well enough to know that he's asking for a description of what happened, what you've seen, what catalyzed this response from you guys. He's trying to get a fuller picture, which he clearly hasn't been getting from the captain.
Mhm.
Probably got more from the rest of these guys, discounting who he calls Magic 8 Ball Man.
Completely unrelated, but Barnabas is so proud that he's going to resist interrogation like that. It just does his. It's exactly the right way to do it.
It's just a shame that he had entirely the wrong idea of what this sergeant was trying to do.
Right, right. But so Barnabas will lay out everything in surgical detail that he's got what's going on.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that all of your things were removed. So that means weapons, notebook, pince-nez.
Mm.
This was all when Captain Tagg was checking you in, as it were.
Hmm.
So this guy wasn't
Took
responsible
his
for that either.
glasses.
Well, he doesn't really need them for long vision, so yeah. And he doesn't have his notebook to read anyway, so.
Honestly, Barnabas would be offended if they missed some stuff.
Yeah, no,
Slot.
they keep a very tight professional jail here, as Darwin had cause to note when he spent his time waiting for his turn in the interrogation seat, tapping on every single surface in his cell. Partly just to see, just on the off chance, but mostly just out of boredom.
Ah.
Okay, somewhere in the middle of that, where Sergeant Lind actually looks kind of impressed, as well as, okay, that's filling in some blanks. That's filling in some blanks. So that's what they meant when, because it's pretty clear that various of the others kind of let their emotions get away from them in a few places, and he knows his party, does Barnabas. He knows that sometimes when the emotion gets high, nonsense comes out.
Hmm.
Well, somewhere in the middle of that, because that's clearly going to take a while, because Barnabas sees a great deal. Y'all in the main cells see a face that you probably are not going to react particularly well to. Sergeant Tagg appears in the doorway. You hear a purposeful stride and then a sort of halt as he looks in a sort of a "what are you people still doing here" kind of way, and then just barrels on down the corridor, right in the middle, so that reaching is not going to grab him. But yeah, he clearly expected y'all to be gone by now. Is there a reaction from Remy, Darvin, Hazel, Ava?
Blaring.
Probably just a cold stare, yeah.
So just to reiterate, because I think I lost some of it in the description, who precisely?
Captain Tagg, the man in charge.
As he probably is going to understand this perfectly fine, but in halfling, oh hi, fascist.
I have to wonder how the fuck there's a word for fascist in this. How fascist is a word in this, but fuck it. It doesn't stop, but if you want to make an insight check to see if that got to him, down to you.
Yeah. Or what little I can see of him.
Well, he's walking directly past your cell.
$27.
Oh,
Yeah, you definitely got to him, and it's like... It's basically, he's not going to stop, but there's very much a sense of, I am getting these people exiled beyond belief. Darvin?
I can't believe I'm going to say this.
no.
Darvin's going to blow a kiss and waggle his eyebrows at him.
Yeah, I'm not even asking for a... He did shit on deception roll anyway. That just gets a roll of his eyes and a mutter that you can more or less tell is just bards. But yeah, not long after it was vanished.
Darvin, with a look, there's the equivalent of, call me.
Yeah, Farida, who can actually crane a little further, that looks at Darvin, and just, yeah, that look says, not if you were the last sentient being on Earth.
Heartbreaker.
So, yeah, Barnabas is finishing his very cut and dried report when door opens and Captain Tagg just stops in the doorway, looks at this and goes, "Why are these people still here?" "Because I have to ask them questions." "No, they were charged. They are supposed to be exiled, and I'm trying to determine guilt. That is kind of my job." "Your job is to hold them for processing." That's not what the charter that the governor gave me, that I signed, says my job is. Why is this not chained up? Because he's not a threat, sir. He has done nothing wrong, as far as I can tell thus far. Well, perhaps this will change your mind. Slaps a piece of paper on the table in front of Sergeant Lend. If you insist on this, fine, but get them out of this city. Don't I need to determine whether or not they are actually guilty first? Just gives him a look and walks out again. Picks up the paper. Yeah. Looks back at the shut door, listens for if there are any footsteps, but then again, this room is pretty soundproof too. If you'll excuse me. Oh, get fucked! Sorry.
No offense taken. He is a disgrace to the badge.
This unfortunately concerns you.
Hmm.
The incitement of antisocial behavior has been upgraded in your case to he's trying to make manslaughter stick.
Manslaughter.
Apparently, the children that you spoke to, one of them attempted to climb the wall. She fell. She will probably not walk again because Captain Tagg is not sending her out for a healer. But
What?
she's alive. A young man, on the other hand, attempted to climb the tower. He did not survive. You are being blamed for inciting that.
That's fucking rich.
The paperwork says that because you were the last to talk to them, they're not speaking of your friend, your co-mercenary's wife. But as far as any of this paperwork goes, the young man who attempted to climb the tower, they're saying that you convinced them that their physical winged friend was still in there somewhere. From the look on your face, I'm guessing that it was actually them who told you that.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Well, this makes things a little bit more complicated, as you can probably imagine. Now, I've heard your report on the matter. Note, he's not calling it an interrogation at that point. He's almost talking to you, guardsman to guardsman. There are still rules as far as this goes. I need to find an authority to take this to. That's not. In the meantime, regardless of what the captain says, I don't find that you are a danger. Despite being provoked, you did not attack Captain Tagg. So I'm going to bring you into the general cells instead of secure lockup. It's not much better, but at the very least, you'll be able to address your companions. Note, you'll be able to actually tell them the change in circumstances that have come up through this, and who knows, maybe Hazel will sheer rage enough to Hulk out of the jail. Yeah, all you guys see is, a couple of minutes of Tagg being away and then him striding back off. He's clearly not even looking at any of you guys. He's just clearly very, very pissed. And a few minutes later, Sergeant Lend escorts Barnabas out into the cells and puts him right there. Yeah, it's a little bit bigger, a bit airier, and again, barred doors instead of solid doors. So we'll give you guys a few minutes while Sergeant Lend goes back in to deal with the last one in secure lockup. And Barnabas, I don't think it takes an insight check, although, let's face it, Hazel's is pretty damn good to see that Barnabas has metaphorical steam coming out of his ears.
It's a very cold rage.
Okay, dry ice steam.
There you go.
You okay, Barnabas?
You're muted, Smeagol.
Barnabas, sound check.
Sound check.
You would have heard
Couldn't hear
it.
each
You
other
would have
before.
you would have Hazel would have heard the term in Egref somewhere at Basil's cell when bands were taking the stage. So it is a term that you could use here. Barnabas not knowing what it means is fine, but yeah, you can just about see Darvin and Ava and maybe Remy if she leans a bit, but the others are on your side of the walls. But you can hear Hazel well enough. Hazel is loud.
There was an enchantment on the cells, Barnabas, to keep people from talking to each other.
Okay.
But,
yeah, I can hear you.
And yeah, Faraday means that must mean that you were questioned.
I was. That utter piece of trash killed 2 kids and trying to blame it on me.
I hope we're talking about Tagg here because Sergeant Len seemed okay.
Oh no, Len, no, Tagg.
That's why he was stomping in here. Okay.
What do you mean he
Explain
killed
now.
Wait, well, excuse me. Injured 1, killed another, blaming me for inciting them for trying to climb the tower and
No, not
the
ones
wall.
You spoke to. They were the ones you spoke to, wasn't it?
Yes.
Gods. What happened?
But sorry, did he actually? I'm just trying to get a picture here from Faraday. Did he actually kill them for trying, or?
From what I understand is Lynn was not explicit with it, but it seemed to be that when they tried to do that, the gods attacked. I think.
No. What Len said is they tried to climb. They're kids. They fell.
Yeah, they're okay. They're saying that they just fell. I don't know how much I believe that, but that's what they're saying.
Well, I mean, they weren't very old. Not everybody is like the Hearthheart kids, but okay, so one's hurt and one's dead, but we're in a city made of godliness. Couldn't they do something?
Yes, but he's refusing. I'm going to tear his head off.
Not if I beat you to it.
He's kind of bigger and can reach
So he's
his head
deliberately.
easier.
I know.
Hazel, I'll start at the top. You start at the feet. We'll meet in the middle.
To be fair, Barnabas, that probably brings some flashbacks to that nightmare of tainted you using a Hazel as a Daisy in the "she loves me not" kind of thing. But you're angry, so it takes a minute.
Right. Okay. Man should be hanged.
So he's deliberately refusing to see to the care of his charges. I mean, if he's capable of getting them healed and bringing them back, and he's not doing it, well, then he's not protecting folk.
Faraday's kind
At
of.
that point.
Faraday's kind of. I mean, my parents never did this, but some parents will let someone deal with the consequences of their actions to set an example. Maybe that's what he's trying to do.
So he's using kids to convince the others not to fight back?
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that if you're thinking you
It does make a sick sort of sense.
I mean,
The word, and I'm saying fascist and halfling again, applies here.
That's one that Julia Miranda didn't teach me.
In short, what you're describing is what someone like that would do. Exactly what someone like that would do.
And like I'm saying, I'm not saying that it's a good or right thing to do, but if he wants to make sure nobody tries that again, he'd probably sell it as, if they know there's going to be consequences, people won't try and hurt themselves even a little bit, even to be fixed quickly.
Some twisted way it does make sense.
The fact that, the fact that it's fact they shouldn't have to climb anything to be able to go out and look around and things is kind of beside the point. Remy was saying that trying to scare them. What's scarier than that? The stupid part is it's full of Azamar. Azamar can heal people. Just in general, without a...
Mm-hmm.
That must really hurt for protectors, too.
Yeah.
LSA would be beyond realistic.
Well, any of them. LSA keeps saying it's her nature.
True.
Maybe he's also angry because it's a bigger mess in there now that this happened. We don't know what it's like in that settlement right now. Especially from their parents. Meantime, door to Clarity's cell opens and there's...
Cascabeles, tra la 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 la.
If I'm not interrupting?
Sure. What?
If you
I've got. You could have made an appointment.
I could have, but on the other hand, leaving you to linger seems rude. Would you be available to come with me?
Yeah, whatever.
And guides you into a bright little room with the chairs and table bolted to the floor. If you'd like to take a seat.
Do you want me to take a seat?
You could stand if you'd prefer, but that's probably a little bit more comfortable than the stone floor in there.
I'll sit, but I'm sitting backwards. I'm turning the chair.
You can't turn the chair around. It's bolted to the floor.
Okay. She sits.
Yeah, I can see
crisscross applesauce in the seat, though.
Okay, if that's comfortable for you, that's fine. I was going to ask you some questions, but you know what? No. We've gone a bit past that now. I've had reports from your various friends. This is entirely bullshit. This whole thing that has been dumped into my jail is bullshit.
I'm glad we're in agreement. That is exactly the words that I was saying in amongst the singing.
Unfortunately,
bullshit.
Unfortunately, those rooms are soundproof, so if you're trying to irritate anybody, I apologize that your attempts were in vain.
It was fun, though.
As long as you're enjoying yourself, that's fine. At least somebody's having a good time in here. So I'm certainly not, because I have people I'm told were criminals brought to my jail, and then I find out, no, actually, they are flagging up things that I, in my little remote position, did not know about our settlement, which I haven't lived in ever. I live here. The charges against you, you've now heard what you'd have heard when you were first brought in, have been added to somewhat. Your Minotaur friend is now being accused of manslaughter.
The fuck?
That was approximately what I said. Captain Tagg came through here with paperwork.
Fucker.
I am not at liberty to respond to that. Anyway, he informs me that Barnabas, who was seen speaking to the children, they're saying he incited them to reckless behavior that led to one's injury and the other's death. I know. Now, I know this is not long-term accommodation by any stretch of the imagination, but according to the current order on you all, letting you back into the city would result in you being surrounded by guards again, and this time you would not be guided to a jail. If you leave here without something intervening, it would be to exile you. And I don't want that to happen. However, sticking you in secure holding doesn't strike me as necessary. It's not, right? Because you're looking at me like you kind of want to kill me. Or is that only because you can't look at Captain Tagg that way? I'm not entirely clear.
Probably. It's. Can I do an insight check? Because she does not know that Barnabas.
Yeah, you can. Like I say, it won't take much. This guy has lost all ability to give a shit.
He is far beyond done.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, this is guy running county jail basically, rather than.
Do I lose my proficiency because I'm assuming they took my jewelry?
They did, but I'm gonna let you have it anyway because fuck it, I don't care. It's going to make my life easier.
15.
Yeah, no, it takes a lot less than that to tell that this guy is hearing this guy has heard from you guys a lot of shit he had not heard in official reports, and he's trying to make sense of all this, and is effectively trying to make sure you don't get exiled or killed trying to escape or something. But he's trying to figure out how exactly. But in the meantime, he just kind of needs you to be someplace where no one's going to try to stab you, and you can at least talk to your friends.
I have a fairly strict policy of all cops are bastards except Barnabas, but I guess you can be included in there too.
I did, in fact, like the Minotaur. He gave a very solid report. And did not actually rip Captain Tagg's head off when he came through here with the manslaughter charge. Which, at the very least, got me to say, look, the people you told me to put in secure lockup don't need it. He did not like that very much. I have... Behold the field in which I grow my fucks, for it is barren.
Same.
I'm going to put you in general lockup, and I'm going to find something to do about this. Is there anything else I should know about insofar as might be helpful? For clarity, the intelligent, there are two things. One, obviously, you have allies in the Bone Orchard, and partially related to you have a fairy dragon who's trying to find you some help. If you want to tell him that, that's up to you, but I'm just making sure that you know where everybody is as far as that goes.
Oh. We have... I don't know how much you've heard exactly, but we do have friends outside of here in the surrounding town who can help. We also have an appointment with the governor, with whom a witness or someone of the like would be much appreciated.
I see. That explains, I think, why this happened now.
And
the friends
have you heard that they were torturing Alice?
several times in several degrees of pissed off? Yes.
Okay, just making sure that this is
Yes. The friends in town. Would you be able to identify them? I need to know how much help they could potentially be.
The twins in the bone orchard.
The Mobius twins?
Yeah, those are the ones.
You've befriended the... of course you fucking have. Well, that's something.
And we've got a fairy dragon who's looking for help for us.
Well, does Captain Tagg know about the fairy dragon?
I don't think so. He was with us when we went inside, but he likes to snuggle up inside of Ryland's scarf. So he's usually pretty hidden.
Yes, there was definitely no fairy dragon in Ryland's scarf when I took that, so... Right. I don't know exactly how this is going to go from this point on, but at the very least I can see about getting something a little bit more comfortable because, like I say, those cells were not made for long-term accommodation, but this might take a while. I am sorry about this. I just don't want you getting attacked when you go out there.
Sure.
Thank you for not taking that look out on me. Sorry if I seem a bit impatient at this point. It's been a long evening. Guide you out. And yeah, shorter than the rest of y'all had. And far shorter than Barnabas. Point. Clarity. And Hazel can just about see Clarity. Of course, she winds up as far away from Hazel as possible. Oh dear. Well, he just wanted to get... Tagg just wanted to get Hazel and Remy in cells as quickly as possible. So, yeah, Barnabas mostly, but... and Faraday sort of... Hi, Clarity.
Racial profiling hour over here.
You're muted again, Smeagol.
Yeah, no freaking kidding.
Yeah, Tagg doesn't go back to the back. He winds up out the front and shuts that door. And it's potentially the illusion of privacy, but it still feels like privacy.
So what are we doing here now? We're just waiting for this guy.
Yeah, basically waiting for an assist, either from the one who just spent a whole assload of time listening to us, spill all the tea all over all of the nonsense, or help from whatever Flitty's gone to get, possibly also the Mobius sisters, depending on whether or not that's not the same thing.
Very, very briefly, the coffee boy trots in and slides through the bars on Barnabas and Clarity sell each mug of hot chocolate with tiny marshmallows and a blueberry scone. Yes, even the prison food is like that. It's a late night snack. We don't starve prisoners, sir.
There's a difference between don't starve and hot cocoa with little marshmallows in it. I mean,
welcome to Anbir.
I'm not complaining, but this shit's ridiculous.
Well, what would you suggest we do?
You keep on just as you are. You keep on just as you are, but you're not normal. You are not normal. Just so you know.
This is protocol, sir.
This whole place is like that. Yes.
See? He
Hazel?
gets it.
Hazel, what god or goddess would we thank for the protocol here?
Regarding food, Barry, sir.
Thank you.
And at least a little bit Paylor, because sun helps the farms maintain
Yes.
farming.
Paylor cleric, I get it, but
The whole unit. Start with Barry and go down the list.
Enjoy. Near This is just a little bit confused at how freaked out you guys continue to be about this. If Darvin is doing that, stop.
Damn, I didn't get his name.
there are scones in jail. Scones in jail. What?
Yeah. What the fuck?
Halfling farming centric.
We ate them and they were fine.
Oh,
says
Mars.
Farida.
Okay, but only because you say so. I wouldn't trust it otherwise.
No, that's
She
fair.
takes
I
a
wanted to get his name.
big
I wanted to see if I
bite.
could write it or something. Oh, well.
Yeah, it is bakery quality scone. It's not your cheap crap. This Barnabas just going, this is not jail as I know it.
Oh,
Yes, Darwin fully intended on getting that guard's name so he could add it to a song somewhere.
To be fair, this isn't so much a guard as a T-boy, but yeah.
He's the
Either
coffee
way.
intern, basically.
He does sort of come in with a large stack of pillows and sort of starts cramming them through bars. This is about the best we can do because we can't fit whole mattresses in here.
Thank you.
thank you.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Powders out after cramming. There's like 3 pillows apiece, and they're good
I'll
ones
pretend
as
it's a
well.
tavern floor.
That's the thing. There's 3 of them, so you could actually conceivably make a futon out of them, and they're those really nice down-filled things, and it comes out with very well woven wool blankets. Shove, shove, shove. Sorry, we don't normally have prisoners here very long, so...
So we've heard.
No. Thank you.
Like I said, protocol. There's no point
Thank you,
in...
good sir.
I get it, but holy shit, I still want out of the box.
That, unfortunately, I can't do. Best I can do is make comfort.
That's fine. That's fine. We'll get out of the box eventually. We'll get out of the box eventually. We'll get out of the box eventually.
Do you want a calming tea, miss?
You know what? Yes. Let's go with that.
Anybody else?
Probably
I'm
wouldn't.
glad Hazel said yes, because I was about to say, I think we want her to have a calming date. Love you, Hazel. I get it.
Anybody who wants calming tea does wind up with calming tea. The same tin mug, but still, again, you don't tend to get your choice in most jails. Yeah, because of course it's starting to get fairly late now, and you kind of have to wonder what the guy at Snoop's is thinking. Given you were supposed to go back and pay for those maps. You know what? Con saves for everybody. Just it's not bad. It's just to see because it's been a long, overwrought evening, and
Oh no.
I just want to see who stays awake. Oh Christ! Actually,
Remy does
for
push-ups and then falls asleep.
yeah, to be fair, that actually works out for thing what I had in mind. Of course, Barnabas is yeah.
11 for me.
So
I'm trying to get mine. Oh, there it is. Sorry, I'm opening up one screen. One moment. Got it.
Oh.
A 6.
yeah, Hazel, Barnabas, and Ava do manage to stay awake. Remy, Hazel, and Ava, yeah, Ava, Barnabas, and Hazel stay awake. Remy, Clarity, and Darvin, not so much. You have remarkably comfy pillows as a sort of a mattress and a nice warm wool blanket, and it's been a very fraught kind of day, and that's a thing. So it's Ava, Barnabas, and Hazel who hear the door open just a bit, see Captain Tagg appearing again, and you're probably all three of you are probably going to be trying to listen fairly well to see if you can hear anything of the conversation that is about to ensue. So if the three of you would like to make me a perception check.
Nope.
Nope. There you go.
Well, Hazel's the closest to the damn wall. That
Makes
makes
sense.
a certain amount of sense.
It
Yes.
does.
Hazel is hearing, effectively a blazing fucking row between Sergeant Lind and Captain Tagg. Effectively to the order of what are they still doing here? Why have they basically camped out in the cells? Sir, I am looking over their testimony and trying to compare it with your reports, and I'm going to need a third party opinion here because I wasn't there. I didn't see it. You're supposed to trust my reports when they are this disparate. I actually need some eyewitness statements that aren't from you. Are you saying you don't trust me? I'm saying this is looking a little fishy, is what I'm saying. And if you are in the right, then it shouldn't be a problem to speak to the rest of the guard. For instance, I'd like to have a word with Adelaide and Clint. Dead silence for a second. And Hazel, given the insight of her, probably hears the gritted teeth and these. I'm going to make you regret asking this. Oh, I'll have Adelaide into you. Oh, for fuck's sake, what are you going to charge her with? I'll let you know when I bring her in. Slam. And just you hear the thunk. Hazel hears thunk of head on desk. Well, fuck. And since we're about break time, approximately, we'll take break now. When we come back, we'll deal with whatever Hazel, if Hazel wants to wake anybody up or sit on what she's just been hearing, because clearly some shit's about to go down, and Remy, who's normally a whole hell of a lot better at staying awake in these kinds of circumstances, why she might have just crashed out, because frankly, if a god wants you to be present in other plane, at least on the soul elements, I don't really think an anti-magic ward is going to be able to stop them. So, see you in a few minutes. And we're back, currently in an Anbir jail. Some people sleeping through the argument that only Hazel actually heard. Barnabas and Ava did at least see the sort of peer click. But while that's going on, Remy, perhaps, perhaps this is a good thing, finds himself on that, on that cliff overlooking the meadow and the celestial plane.
Remy looks around.
Yeah, behind her is Ziriel. This is really not going well.
No, but I'm going to deal with it.
I do understand that. I just need you to understand how not well it is currently going.
We tried being reasonable.
That's not what I meant. Gestures and sort of bids you turn around, and instead of the meadow, what you're seeing is the settlement. The settlement is not a happy place right now. Some of the Protector Azamar are distinctly unthrilled and using the only weapons they actually have to hand, which is half-rotted produce. Some of the Scourge Azamar are either staying out of it or at least trying to keep it from getting to a sword's perspective. Others of them are really looking like they want to kind of, do the spanking for your own good thing. A fair bit of the yelling involves a certain amount of, basically it's demanding that they help the kids at least. One voice that you haven't actually heard thus far is just going, Captain Tagg has said that there needs to be consequences for, and then gets a tomato in the face. This is going to start getting ugly soon. Which is, in fact, what Ziriel says when gestures and dispels the image. This is going to get ugly.
I know.
This was simply something that you needed to see.
As soon as we're out of here, go back there. I wanted to do this without swords, but
Now I'm debating asking what I was going to, but I'll ask anyway. Do you want to see her?
yes.
Gestures again, and you look back at where the meadow was. What you have is little room, not much window, smallish cot. I'll say sort of on one side, and from the wings are, one of them has been very neatly clipped. Clearly they've had that done by someone who knows what they're doing. The other one they clearly tried to do themselves. It is a ragged mess, and they, at the edges, and they clearly haven't tried to clean the blood off the feathers from where they messed up and nicked skin a couple of times. Wrists and ankles are manacled together and manacled to bits of the bed. This is apparently, from what you can tell, because they're clearly not worried about her escaping. They're just worried about her hurting herself in the nightmares that she should have been having, but now, of course, clearly isn't, because she's sleeping still and, not tossing and turning. But it's clear that she was for a while, because there's some dried blood from where the various bonds chafed when she was trying to thrash. Beyond that, she's more or less okay, but that's probably enough, given Remy.
Can you speak to her?
Unfortunately, no. The the counter to the nightmare part of the potion did apparently help with the nightmares, but did not make it anything like a normal sleep. She's effectively, I don't know if she's dreaming at all, or
Okay.
if it's more akin to your former warlock friend.
Okay.
Now, I believe your cleric is going to want a word.
Of course.
And Remy wakes up. And, yeah, Hazel has just, you know, heard the door to the outside of the prison slam and the thing. Well, fuck. And you two just know that Hazel's listening for all she's worth, so you're probably staying quiet for that.
And waiting for him to be out of earshot.
Well, you can't see him anymore. It's more in your case, you can see Hazel leaning at the wall, so you can probably hold out a hand for Barnabas to a minute and wait for Hazel to clearly stop listening and be able to talk to people. And just before Hazel kind of leans back from the wall, Remy just from dead asleep to whoop.
Remy sits up.
Oh, of course, Ava can't say that, but Hazel can.
Let me guess. Warning from on high?
Pretty much.
Accurate.
Remy goes up to the cell door to look back and forth.
Yeah, well, the door on that end is shut, but clearly Hazel has more going on. To be fair, you've just been told that she knows something.
Did I miss something?
Yeah, you missed an argument between, again, the halfling word, between the the halfling word for fascist, asshole, and the guy actually trying to help us out. Guy trying to help us out requested Adeline and Glenn, and implications were that they're going to end up arrested too.
Well, to be fair, you guys already know that Clint is absent.
Or at least Adeline is going to be arrested too.
Yeah, how do you know they got to Clinton?
We need
All
to
in
get
all,
out
if
of
you
here.
need that. Yes. So what did you see, Remy?
The Protector Asimar are 2 steps away from rioting. Maybe 1
Two
step.
whole steps?
Though it depends on how soon they run out of tomatoes.
That counts as a riot.
Well, it could be worse. Well, better
We're
and
here. We're in
worse.
the land where food is of the highest order of stuff. That counts as a riot.
To be fair, Barnabas, in your world, throwing anything at guards counts as a riot.
I mean, technically yes, but also it generally doesn't get upgraded beyond fracas until they move from vegetables and fruits to like paving stones.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I don't think that's going to take long.
What are the guards doing to that?
not much yet, which is why it's still 2 steps away.
This could get nasty.
It's going to.
Remy, it's not 2 steps away. It's already happening.
We need to get there before the guards make it worse.
Ow. If we get out there, we're only gonna make things worse. If we even knew how to get out.
There isn't anything we can do to make things better at this point. Tagg's not going to listen.
Nope.
And Hazel hears a little scrabble, scrabble, scrabble at the window, and little green head point. Hello. Oh, good. There you are.
Hello. This isn't. I've switched to Sylvan.
Hi.
Heyo.
I've been trying to find some help. I
do
think
you
I
got?
might have succeeded. I can't really say because it's gonna be confusing. So just whatever happens, just kind of go with it, okay?
Something's about to explode, isn't it?
I don't think so.
This is all still in. So glad no one else understands. Oh, good. Oh, good.
Yeah, I'd say Clarity could, but she's probably a little too far away to hear and she's asleep anyway. So yeah, so you guys, the closest awake ones, kind of hear Hazel having a conversation in Sylvan to and occasional adorable peeping.
Hazel?
Yeah, we don't understand. So
Give me a minute.
Just gonna be a few minutes, but I gotta ask: is the jail man bad?
Jailman's with us.
Okay, I should probably go see that then. Excuse me.
Good plan. All right. All right. We apparently have a couple of minutes, but what's gonna happen soon? Roll with it.
Right.
But
Okay.
That probably
I
means
don't
you
have
want to.
any elaboration.
That probably.
We got 2 minutes. Roll with it.
Rylan, who probably heard at least some of it, is going, we probably want to wake up the 3 that are sleeping.
Robin.
That's
Yep.
not going to help with stone walls.
Whistle.
Yeah, that'll work, given Hazel, that's going to hurt some ears. So you guys get that which, yeah, I mean,
Darwin just like no more blueberries. I'm good. What?
So we got 2 minutes.
Is it morning
2
already?
minutes for what?
Thing is gonna happen in 2 minutes. Roll with it.
What?
4?
Hey.
there it is. Like, we don't get any more information than that.
Unfortunately, I didn't get more information than that.
Okay.
Well, not soon, I guess.
I'm going to stick with the original perception rolls. I'm going to say that everybody who's not directly flush against the walls of the office, cannot actually hear that far in. But Hazel, being the perceptive one, is hearing a certain amount of conversation, and but this time it's happening a little bit too quietly to really be able to hear what's going on. But door opens, and Sergeant Lend comes in and says, okay, we are not suited to keep prisoners long term, as you can clearly tell. Apologies to anyone I woke up, but you probably at least want an actual bed. You are being remanded into alternative custody until we can clear up some of this mess. This is by the governor's orders.
One query. Are we being given our things back?
Your things will be handed to the governor's servant. For the
Thank you.
time being. And starts unlocking cells and ushers you into the office, and you can feel your magic start to bing back again. And standing in the actual doorway, sort of there, is the governor. Come along, please.
All right then.
It's gonna follow.
Yep.
And you're out, maybe a couple of 100 yards away from the jail, with servants flanking, carrying various bits of your belongings, and well out of line of sight of anybody who might be actually approaching that squat little building, when the voice of the governor changes rather a lot. Nyala, I knew I was going to have to get you people out of jail. Then reaches round neck and pulls off a pendant, because she was still in the area with the where the magic was. So the guise of the governor falls away, and Alana does the same, one of the servants, and when she takes hers off, the other servants are revealed to be her skeleton coterie. And Alana's just, that itches! Thank you! Didn't want to do that anymore, that itched. And you said yes.
This.
And you still, yes, I know, I owe you another 10 gold. It's not like we're not good for it anyway. Yeah, I know, but it's a matter of principle. Okay, we're going back to the Bone Orchard, and you're telling me what the fuck. But you're not telling me what the fuck until we get back to the Bone Orchard. And
Okay.
I don't know if you're going to want some sleep first, because some of y'all look kind of rough. So report first and then sleep, or sleep first and then report, up to you.
Report first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but if the report gives you insomnia, it's on you. And take a bit of a roundabout way back to the, back to effectively the Heavens Ward and up to the Bone Orchard. I mean, obviously we can't keep you here indefinitely, but even if somebody calls us on it later, custody in the Bone Orchard is just almost as good as, possibly better than, because you're in the custody of the gods rather than in the custody of the quasi-mortal government.
Appreciate the help.
Well, Alana's got a weakness for cute, green, and flappy. Well, and Flitty is just on top of her island.
If I thought neither of you would mind, I would be giving you such a hug right now.
Alana is just, I wouldn't mind. Nyala would.
just big,
Yeah.
oh, thank you.
I mean, it was
Until he eventually runs out of breath and
Alana is, well, it was Nyala's idea, but I'm taking the hug so she doesn't have to. And Flitty is just kind of on top of Ryland's head. I'm helpful.
You did great, Vivi.
Well, I tried to get into the governor, but the governor's real busy. Getting all kinds of reports right now. A lot of running around by guards and messenger men's.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, given it's speaking to Ava, that's draconic. So Hazel probably wouldn't get that one. Meantime, she's sort of Nyala kind of ignoring most of of this, as long as nobody's actually going to be hugging her. She doesn't have to keep her guard up. She's sort of handing off things that she knows belongs to each person, and then is sort of holding up bits she doesn't know, being like, who belongs to this? Things like she recognizes Darwin's Helm of Comprehend Languages, the various bits of horn jewelry. She's like, I'm guessing the flowers belong to you. Looking over at Clarity. And the plain bronze ones are yours. That means these are probably yours too. Still on their chain, the Pacney. That thing that Darwin gave him for Ormus.
Thank you.
Big green bow, that's gotta be you.
Thank you.
Scarf, yoink. Thank you. It wraps the scarf back up, and Flitty takes up position in the scarf. And your various your various protective bits and pieces, and I mean, I suppose technically you're not supposed to have those, but fuck it, I don't care. All right, what happened? Mostly what we got was a lot of guardsmen arresting you for reasons. I don't think your fairy dragon friend understood exactly what the reasons were, but we had to kind of concoct a plan, and I am debating whether or not I want to ask to be paid back for the disguise charms, but we'll talk about that later. Also, did they feed you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That means I don't have to worry about you till breakfast. So, okay, what the fuck?
So we got arrested on charges of mostly what we were already planning on doing. And then they tried to add manslaughter, apparently.
Barnabas specifically.
Okay, no, I need what you were already going to be doing, because they can't arrest you for things you were going to be doing.
That's what they said. They were arresting us for things we were going to be doing, suspected of.
Well, that was
Captain Tagg's not exactly being just about it.
Farada says.
Oh, rational.
Farada says, actually, no, they were arresting us for what we tried to do, and for what they're saying that we incited. The exact charges were attempted break-in, or attempted trespassing, or something like that, and inciting antisocial behavior. Well, that explains why getting some interesting notes about the settlement, but carry on.
We almost
Literal actual riot going on now, as far as we know.
They almost started resisting arrest, but we managed
You
to
didn't
help.
actually resist arrest, because I know you didn't actually resist arrest, because I'm pretty sure that square would be on fire right now if you had. So okay, we're skipping around in various places, and I want point A, point B, point C, in a line from start to finish. You got arrested.
Barnabas, Faraday, and one of
Then
you.
what? And kind of looks at Barnabas like, I'm gonna talk to the guard, dude.
We got arrested. Captain wants us exiled.
Well, that's one of the better options, actually. If to very briefly skip ahead as far as that manslaughter thing goes, if they're looking at a manslaughter charge, you're looking at a hell of a lot worse than exile.
I'm sure. Well, they brought that after. Well, they brought that literally as I was being interrogated by the sergeant in jail, and the sergeant is realized that basically everything coming out of the captain's mouth has been bullshit for who knows how long.
So wait, the reports have that the guards are passing to guards in facilities outside the
Yes.
main city. I'm not allowed to finish sentences anymore. Okay, but yeah, no, I get it. Okay, so let's go again. You were arrested. You were brought to that jail. Then what? You were questioned, apparently.
Questioned by someone who isn't aware of what's going on inside the district.
And Rylan is, well,
Sergeant Lynn.
Lend, actually. But then Rylan is,
Lynn,
well,
sorry, my bad.
well, he is now, no thanks to Magic 8 Ball. Excuse me? I was a bit obtuse. I was trying to be non-helpful, and I didn't realize that I actually needed to be helpful at that point. But Darvin is proud of me. I was
proud of
told they
you.
were known for being annoying.
Yes. Stick to the man. Those
Well, he
guys.
took him at their word.
Well, if that was how I was gonna get into your ride or die with frosting thing, then that's what I was gonna do.
You're already in, you dope.
Well, I know that now, but sometimes you just gotta show that you gotta show willing. I keep hearing you talk about the other wood elf, and he didn't show willing. I want to show willing.
You did good, Rylan.
Well, I could have done better
You
if
did
I'd actually
wonderful.
known, but anyway. Okay, so most of you were straight up informing this Sergeant Lend that basically this whole thing in the settlement is bullshit, and he was clearly coming around to that, which is why Flitty over there was saying the the prison man is nice. We like him. I don't know
Yeah.
why we like him yet, but
Yes.
we like him.
Yeah, that one's seems nominally on our side now because there were several arguments between him and Captain. Again, halfling were for fascist.
Okay, I need to teach you that word in other languages because if you're not careful about your pronunciation, that translates to mushroom sandwich. To be fair, Hazel knows this because she has tripped over that word a few times.
Correct. If you get it wrong, it comes out as mushroom sandwich.
But okay, very quick aside. So there's a sergeant who is standing up to the captain, which is why we like him. And we've left him alone with the captain knowing that he's not towing the party line.
Kind of. They've been arguing, but nothing snapped yet.
That you know about. Does Captain Tagg strike you as a stupid man?
Yeah,
Not stupid, but completely
exactly.
irrational.
And he's
yes.
already planning on charging Adelaide. So
Yeah,
if he's already planning on charging Adelaide, then he's more than willing to deal with Lend too.
well,
Completely irrational.
He certainly dealt with Clin. Part of the reason we took so long is we were asking a few questions.
Oh no.
Currently, okay, so here's a quick overview of how we do justice here. Exile is probably about the best you can do, depending on what kind of tasks they're talking about for community service, I guess. Clin has apparently been shipped off to the various seaweed farms. So he's got 25 to life for what they're calling obstruction of justice. And I assume that means having interfered with what he was trying to do to gestures at Remy, your wife.
Very likely.
It's a rather disproportionate sentence.
Oh, that's the thing. It can get worse. If somebody really doesn't like you, or really thinks that you're not being rehabilitated, they can be a little bit stingy with the water breathing potions. So if they wanted to guarantee Adelaide's behavior, there's a couple of other guards that have gone that way, but not too many. I think even Tagg knows he's got limits. but trying to, well, succeeding in apparently feeding a potion to somebody who requires an understanding of what the settlement is about, is how it's being put at the moment. That apparently called for something fairly significant. Manslaughter! Ending a life or encouraging someone into behavior that will end their life. That's when you start getting into Tritherian eye for an eye territory.
That's about where we're at,
Wonderful.
yes.
What I mean is, the one who died. Do you know how?
They say he fell.
We'll try to find
Believe.
the tower.
He was trying to scale the tower.
Well, that's all I needed to know. That like I said, eye for an eye justice. That means you go off a cliff. I mean, it's supposed to be assuming that you're found guilty, but apparently we're trying to bypass that these days.
So,
And if
so
Tag
okay.
draws swords first, and that's what it comes to.
Yeah, no, there's a riot probably already going on in that settlement right now. So,
Well, if you need to know any information, and it's possible that no, you were probably too distracted by the nature of the place, Darvin. But if you want a feel of the mood of the city, go to the Street of Song. They'll often do, what they see, what they sense, what they know. It's like finding the pulse beat of the city there. So you'll find somebody who's playing the mood of the city. And they'll know. And if Darvin is half the musician he seems to think he is, he'll know. And I only say because I haven't heard you play. And I'm not going to ask you to now because it's been a long day. So, what do you need? Apart from, like, some sleep, because most of you look rough.
Mostly that, and then
Given, I'm just given what I mean. Hazel, you seem to know
Need a shot at
how
tongue.
bad are things?
Actually, it was in
How bad are things in the
Farad is.
in the
Actually, it
settlement?
was
'Cause
Remy. Actually, it was Remy who saw it. I think she just told Hazel you were asleep.
oh, okay. Okay. Oh,
I
okay.
don't.
Well, okay.
She
Remy,
was
how bad is it?
she was saying about tomatoes and that they
Yes,
might run out.
we need to get to the Asimar before someone else draws a sword, because the Protector Asimar don't have swords.
That's my question. Yes, we need sleep. Yes, we need rest. But do we have time for that? Is my question.
I don't think we do.
That's and Alana is actually the one who's going. No, because see, that's why Niela was talking about going to the Street of Song. That's a way to figure out what's It's a way to figure out at least the feel of what's happening without actually being in the middle of what's happening, so you can tell how much time you have. When she's
Gotcha.
clear
Let's
to
go there,
me and
then.
she isn't clear to anybody
So,
else,
at
that's
least-
that's weird.
So that means Darvin, you should
My
probably start going
apologies.
there now.
And that's a problem.
Can do.
That's a problem though. Cause
Yeah, if I'm seen.
Yeah, we can't be seen in the street.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I mean, I could help you be sneakier. Because I don't like the idea of you going by yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I'm
And
used to sneaking into and out of taverns. I don't know if I've crossed that much of a distance.
to be fair, you did try, and that's when you got arrested. You remember back in Star Coast? And you also remember trying to sneak
Right.
across the floor in the basement and tripping over the pots and pans. And landing in the pots and pans.
Yeah. So yeah,
And
there has been some success, but there has also been some massive failures in attempting such. So
okay, who can disguise themselves? Anybody?
Clarity?
I
Oh, no, right.
So
can't anymore.
technically I can't, but I did. Technically Alana can't, but she did.
Can I buy one?
Not from us, but
Oh.
I could send your fairy dragon friend who can blend in with other people's various pets, assistants, etc. I do warn you, they are 20 gold apiece. Which is, in Alana's, which is why we were kind of hesitating on getting you to reimburse us for ours. But, you know, Neola's just, we have more money than we actually know what to do with. Shut up. But we'd probably make you pay for the ones you're actually wearing, because we could have found another way to do it that was less expensive if we'd wanted to, so it's not a big deal.
We can manage 20 gold each.
That's perfectly fine.
I mean, do you all want to go, or...
I think at least a couple of us. I don't like the idea of going by someone going by themselves.
Someone needs to go to
Uh,
Snoop's and pick up our maps.
Not true.
whoever goes to Snoop's has got to be with you. You're the only one who knows thieves can't, right?
That's true.
Yes.
Could do 2 teams, I guess.
So, okay, who's actually going out? And Faraday's like, I'm gonna stay here. I mean, disguise spells do work with me, but they're only cosmetic, and unless I went as another Dragonborn, then there'd be the tail in the way, and probably better if I just stay here.
I think I'm kind of in the same boat.
There is
And
something else.
Faraday's, well, you could be I mean, not everybody here is prejudiced against tieflings. You could be one of those.
Really big teeth.
Well,
Yeah.
no, disguise spells can make you a size smaller. Up to
Yeah.
a size smaller. So,
But he's
They make it
still
look like-
underneath big.
yeah,
So-
but still, there can be big beefy, and Faraday's, there could be big beefy tieflings.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Big
You've
beefy
seen
tiefling.
He could be your bodyguard.
I mean, if you think it'll work,
If the illusion works, it'll work. There is something else I'd like to check on in the city.
Hmm?
The Temple of Tritherion.
So, yours is going to be more than one use only, because if you go into a Temple of Tritherion, you're going to want to go in as you.
Yep.
Suppose so.
That tax an extra 10 gold onto the bill for that, just by the way. I mean, you can send your fairy dragon with a note and everything. But I'm asking all this stuff from you guys to see what you're going to need, and whether your fairy dragon can actually take the weight. They deal with draconic. They deal with gems a lot. I'm pretty sure if you know anything about gems, you could find something that costs what you need. Are any of you good at gems? Kid, we're a few thousand, and this is again draconic. Kid, we're a few thousand years old. We're good with just about everything. Okay then, so it's all good. I'm helpful. All you got, the Darvin understands now because he's got his hat back, and but everybody else is just going, seeing, do the peeping. To be fair, most of you know that as his "I'm helpful" dance.
Scritch, scritch, scritch.
So yeah,
So-
apparently just chuck gems at him. So who all is going where?
Yeah, that bears the question.
I'm fine going by myself, but I would prefer to have someone with me just in case anything goes sideways.
I'll go with you.
No, because you're going with Clarity.
No,
Hey.
you're bodyguard for clarity.
Right, right. Okay.
I'll go with Darwin.
Yeah, because honestly,
you-
it'd be
Thank you.
easier to keep moderately within morphology, which means that, I mean, obviously Minotaur's not going to cut it, but Tiefling with Tiefling makes a certain amount of sense. And
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure that if you ask nicely on the note, you can dictate color and hairstyle and things. Because you can't look at the templates they've got, so.
Mm.
Similarly, Darwin needs an assist, but should I? Or should it be Ava?
At which point Nyala's getting entirely bored with this. Okay, look. Clarity, Barnabas, why don't you two go to Snoop's? Darwin, Ava, you two go to the Street of Song. Hazel and Remy go to the Temple of Tritherion, and if you want to pass by a something a bit more dedicated to Palor as well, probably wouldn't do either of you any harm.
Mhm.
So the religious people with the religious people, the team noble over here.
Makes sense to me.
Team
I mean,
horns.
mind your feet.
I was gonna say.
Is what I'm gonna say.
Well, you know, I wasn't gonna say the horny team, but I looked at Clarity and then went, no. Don't worry, I feel you. I really do feel you as far as that goes. I had my mother was the elven one, and she spent a good long time trying to chuck various genders and species at me until I finally made her understand, no, Mum, I just don't wanna. So I get it. And Alana's like, no, seriously, Mum is the only one who would keep trying in the face of that look. I don't keep trying in the face of that look. Moms are like that. So, and Ryland's like, I should probably stay here. I'm not really good enough at cities.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Farad, well, we
Yeah.
already know I'm staying. So, you need 6 of them. 2 of them have to be multiple use. So that's 60 gold for the 2 of you. 80 for you guys for a grand total of 140. If apparently you're going with you apparently you've got gems, so and Faraday.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, dig. Rummages around party funds. Niala basically hands the whole thing to Alana. You know, I'm okay with them, but Alana does crystals. Gems are pretty much
I'm
the same
producing
thing.
the I'm producing the 10 platinum and gems that I've had kicking around this for a while and seeing this work.
Not all of it. Well, that's most of it. Because 140 gold would still leave 4 platinum for that. Yeah, so
I've got 4
okay.
platinum.
Well, Farad actually reached out for party funds.
Okay.
Was the thing which I'll clue I'll clue Antheus into later on, but has a quick look and this should be good. And Flitius, I'm gonna be strong as Barnabas.
Mm.
I'm getting a workout. And writes out a note, and any appearance-based bits and pieces that you wanted specified. If anybody has preferences, speak up.
Clarity wanted to be a
Amanda's-
tiefling with purple skin and white hair.
Oh Christ, that is actually the look of an NPC from Alice's backstory. A little purple tiefling called Mockery. Unfortunately, she was part of the band that her parents mostly killed, but that does mean that the visual template is probably around somewhere, so we can go with that. Sure. Anybody else have any preferences?
Darwin
Well-
pauses, thinks about it for a second, and goes, I think I want to be a blonde.
You mostly are a blonde. To be fair, you've been out in the sun so much that you've been highlighted pretty significantly.
Oh, yeah. Redhead, then.
Scribble, scribble. It looks at Remy. You don't give a fuck, do you?
No.
Looks at Hazel.
Me, but as human as possible.
No, the whole point is that you're not supposed to look like you.
Fair enough. At that point, just hit human, but randomizer.
And Farrah is, you don't want to look like Kizzy.
Fine, because you brought it up. Okay.
You're gonna have to describe this person to me. I'll say you did. I was like,
Yeah, I'll just go. I'm gonna go over that.
okay. Barnabas?
Barnabas doesn't really have a preference.
Yet one more, don't give a fuck. Ava?
She'd probably describe one of the people she remembers working at the Vanadar house when she was younger.
Okay. Well, we'll probably get as close to that as possible. You got this, little buddy? Could there be cookies when the delivery is done, please? We will find you cookies. It's good. Nymph the note and flee.
Thank you, Flitty.
Thank you, Kitty.
Yeah, for those of you who are going out, and if you want to maybe feel a little less rough, do you want coffee?
Yes.
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 Yeah, though
I feel fine. I just
probably
want
less than
coffee.
both of them.
Darwin's
I'll
head
be-
damn near pops off his neck as he's nodding so much.
Yeah, okay, so who wants coffee or who wants mega coffee?
Regular coffee.
Both.
Regular coffee.
I don't think you have time for both, but
Then mega, please.
okay.
Completely normal coffee, please. If I get anywhere near the mega, I'm probably going to ascend to Paylor.
Look, if someone
I
ever
actually
asks
need
me
a
if
mega
I want
just for the sake
coffee,
of I'm going to have to concentrate that much when I get there.
Well, sometimes being in a different mental state actually helps you see the whatever, but yeah, your choice entirely.
You know, now you're giving me ideas.
No, we are not sending you to Paylor this soon. If Paylor really wants your company that badly, he'll bring you himself.
And second
point.
thought, then, yeah, regular is fine then.
Yeah, just check it out from you too.
And all of the coffee brought out smells really good, but Barnabas's, well, it's still very smooth. The acid content is not too high, but it's not jitters. It's just I am very awake now.
oh, that's the stuff.
And honestly, because it's Anbir, and because she promised Flitty plate of cookies, save some for the fairy dragon.
Thank you.
To be fair, I did get a little bit of sleep, so
Yeah, you guys only got like an hour or two, so not that much. Depends on how well you
no,
nap.
but I shouldn't need the mega.
Yeah, but honestly, very awake is sometimes very good for. That's the thing. It's ascending to a higher state of consciousness that might actually help you decipher the mood that the street is trying to give you. But that's up to you. But that was what Nyala was saying. Sometimes that helps. And a while later, Flitty flaps back, rather less laden, and because Barnabas didn't understand it, Alana does actually turn around to Barnabas and say, your fairy dragon friend was saying that he's going to be as strong as you with the workout he's getting. I just thought it was cute, and it looked like you could use cute, so.
You're absolutely right.
Well, it's been a hard day. I think everybody could use cute. And yeah, a while later, much less
Barnabas,
late.
I think you might have a new deputy.
Rylan is who only needs to trance rather than sleep is. Excuse me, that's my emotional support fairy dragon. Can we wait until I don't need an emotional support fairy dragon before I lose him to being deputized?
My bad. My bad. My bad.
Then fair it is. It's Flitty's choice anyway. Flitty can
Mhm.
multitask. Also, so there you go. I mean, Flitty's kind of having to until we get Alice back. And yeah, a little while later, back through the window, two clenched in one talon, four pendants in the other one. Okay, so, lands on the table and starts separating them out with claws. That one's for the Remy lady, and that one's for the Hazel lady, and that one's for the Singy man, and that one's for the Ava lady, and that's one for the Sneaky lady, and that's one for the Bull man.
Screech, 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 screech.
And then,
Right.
ooh, cookies.
It's the like,
It's like, help yourself. I will trust you not to eat yourself into a coma. Yay! And into the cookies. And yeah, Clarity. I mean, obviously, facial features have been rather changed. Clarity is. The look is effectively a purple skinned jester with white hair.
Oh no.
Hazel, because. Well, no, you all have met Kizzy, but very attractive, dark-skinned, dark-haired woman. Barnabas.
And despite this guy staring at Clarity, and oh no, why does she keep getting hotter and hotter appearances?
Barnabas is. I mean, it really is just the skin is approximately the same shade as his fur. The hair is sort of. You think it's a very dark brown shading to black, but no, it's kind of a very, very deep magenta color you can see from the highlights. Ava looks, brown hair, brown eyes, fairly simple, simple but well-made clothing. It's clear that she's modeled appearance on one of the serving ladies in her family's home. Darvin, as it happens, winds up looking like what Evan would look like as a grown-up human. So, jug ears, freckles, floofy red hair. And so when Darvin gets a look in the mirror, it's like if Evan was actually his kid, this is what that kid would look like all grown up. Just
He's
seeing.
both squeeing and getting a little misty-eyed.
And Remy is the only one who's actually had a change in species apart from Barnabas. Because Remy looks a little stockier, a little shorter, not much. The hair is lightened to a deepish brown. Although it's shading a bit to auburn, thinking about it. Because she looks like a somewhat darker-haired Rizwin. Complete with broken nose and scar.
We've gone to dwarf.
Yeah. Remy now looks like a short, dark auburn-haired dwarf with scar, broken nose. Of course, having Hazel go from, oh god, she's hot, to, you look like Rissy! And she's making that face at you.
What?
Think about how long one of my siblings was running around with us for. And think about how you look right now.
And Nyala
Oh,
just turns her towards a mirror.
Oh, you're right. You kind of look like this.
Oh.
Good. The magic egg lamp is now turned on.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the little bottled suns. We have a slightly different way of. I don't know if you guys have actually ever looked at our street lamps. There's a kind of. I mean, you know that some gases are really flammable, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't go for some of the bullshit that happens in Egrif, but we are good with resources, and we managed to find some of this flammable gas. So we got some of the Egrif people to pipe it into various spots. So we use it for ovens, lights. Basically, they've got gas lamps and that kind of thing.
Before
So,
we leave, is there anything we need to be careful of? Like, if we bump into someone, we might that deactivate the.
shouldn't be. I mean, look at what I got away with. I wouldn't worry about you two, because obviously there's going to be an issue where a thing you didn't consider, Team Snoops, is that obviously they're going to need to know that you are the people that you're going there with. But no, I've been to Snoops a few times. You don't have to take the disguise off. They've got a true sight element on in the building. So they know, they're going to know who you are. Because obviously they don't want people coming in and taking somebody else's order, if you see what I mean. Or asking the wrong kinds of questions. So they'll know who you are and you won't have to take those off. You guys, as long as you don't break the clasps, but carefully take them off, they'll last until dawn. To be fair, it's probably about midnight and it's winter, so dawn is a ways away.
Okay, noted.
Perfect.
And you two just... I mean, obviously this hasn't changed your voices, so if you don't think you could do a credible accent, don't talk to anybody.
I mean, I'm doing as a bodyguard, so I'll just keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I mean, you could talk in Snoops, because they're going to know it's you anyway, but when it's safe to talk, you do know when it's safe to talk, right? I have to ask these questions. Well,
No,
you
absolutely.
know when it's safe to talk. You, in Points of Clarity, know when it's safe to talk. You probably know when it's safe to talk, pointing at Remy. a little iffy about you, to Ava, and you two. And Faraday is sorry they don't always really know when it's safe to talk.
You're right.
We'll keep our heads down.
Argue.
And Alana's, look, they're like with us. It's not very sensible people teamed up with sensible people, or two sensible people together. So it should be fine. Right?
I have to say, DM,
To be fair,
thank you again for
I'm going
Mobius
to be too
Twins.
busy listening to say much of anything. So
Yeah, no, that's fair, but I think what Alana is basically saying is you've got that thing with music, and sometimes if you have a real passion for something, you can get kind of carried away. Looking at Alana, I know. If I haven't lost it in 5,000 years, it's not going away anytime soon. I'm sorry. No, you're not. No, I'm not, but I have you. Yeah, you do.
I mean, in theory, we don't really need to talk to anyone, right, darling?
I adore you too.
I'd say it gets old after 1,000 years or so, but honestly, if I can tolerate it this long, it's probably fine.
I'm still thrown by the fact that you're real, but
What
you
did
are
say,
so
Ava? I completely
real.
missed that. I'm sorry.
Well, in theory, you and I don't really need to talk to anyone specifically, do we? We're just getting a lay
Well,
of the land, really.
no, but it's like I'm saying, some bards in particular, when they hear something that particularly gets them,
Just keep an eye on me, basically.
I'll try.
and it's like, so Niala's, so Hazel, basically what you're saying is you have a hard time believing that we're real, but now that you've seen that we're people, it's throwing you a bit less.
Yep, that.
This
This feels like an argument and a conversation I have had with either mom and mama or one of the siblings at home.
probably
And it's
one of
both
the
throwing me more and less.
and Alana's probably some of the siblings at home. We're forever siblings, literally.
Yeah.
But we did. I'm gonna be the sensible one here for once. Thank you, Niala, for letting me. Not a problem. You guys have Azamar to save and stuff, so shoo. Don't make me send the skeleton army to shoo you out. And Faraday is don't make her send out the skeleton army because she might animate the bones of the baby dragon.
Oh boy.
Oh, you saw that? Yes, that's why I wanted to sleep in a different room. So yeah, we are pretty much at that time. So we will leave it there for the time being, with Faraday and Rylan settling in and watching Flitty take his reward in the form of pile of cookies. And when we come back in 2 weeks' time, we will deal with how y'all spent said night in Egref and what information you gleaned out. I mean, I'm personally interested in finding out why Remy wants to be heading out to the Temple of Tritherion, but I guess I'll find that out in 2 weeks.